Hello, folks. The old Hunter here. I was sitting around thinking about some of the stuff I want to put on the show, and I'm going to talk canoe trips I made back when I was younger. My first one I made with a good friend of mine that went to school with, Max Bryant. Been our friend since the second grade, and still a great friends. Go down and visit with him, they visit with us and all. But he'd been making a lot of canoe trips with his family and friends. If you asked him out at work one day, we both worked out at Chevron. He says, would you be interested in making a canoe trip this weekend? It was East weekend, so it was a 3-day weekend. I said, yeah, that sounds great. Well, I didn't have a canoe at the time, but he had a couple canoes, so we loaded it up. We put over Black Creek. It was going to take 3 days coming down, cook fish and stuff, just have a good time. Well, the first night, I'm sorry, it was the second night. The first night, we caught enough fish. We had more fish we could eat. At that time, we didn't have no coal or something like that. I was cooking over an open fire, coals. I built a fire and I had to burn on the coals, and I had a grate out of the refrigerator. And I'd find some rocks and set that grate on it where it'd be about that high above the coals. Big old cast iron frying pan I had. That's how I cooked my fish and everything, right? Cast iron frying pan over them hot coals. It got to be pretty good at it, too. Anyway, we had a good time that first night. It was lovely. Well, I didn't even have a sleeping bag. So he said, I'll have one of the kids. But first, he knew I get anything. I got a sleeping bag. I got looking at it. It was called Little Sprout. I think he got it from Green Giant. Label off a can good or something. It's a Little Sprout. It comes right here on me. I had to squeeze to get in it. Wasn't no big thing, Well, we didn't have a tent. We had a piece of canvas, about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 pieces of canvas. We're making it the best way we can. Well, that second night, about 1 o'clock that day, it started blowing out the north, and it got cold. I'm telling you, it got cold. Well, that night, we said, we're going to have to wrap up this tarp, because no way we're going to be able to stay warm if we don't. So we did. Got ready to go to sleep. We just got the tarp covered over with the tarp and everything. It was still cold next morning. There was frost and ice everywhere. It was cold. I kicked the whole bottom out of that little sleeping bag, trying to get it up around my neck where I'd be warm, But I learned a very valuable lesson that first trip. Bring stuff you're going to have. Go get your own stuff. And that's how the trips all went, But we had a fantastic trip. We caught a lot of fish. We ate good. And we all did get along real good together. We had great company with each other. And we spent a wonderful 3-day trip on the river having a great time. Okay, folks. I'll see you later. One little reminder. Remember this. Life is short, but death is forever. Go get your shots.